Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum. What more needs to be said? Jayson Tatum saves the day for the Celtics with the game-winning layup. No time left on the clock. Game-winning buzzer-beater layup to take down the Nets in game one. The Celtics escaped, bro. The Celtics just escaped this game. They had a 15-point lead against Brooklyn, and they blew it. It looked like they were about to blow this game here in game one, and Jayson Tatum comes up with the game-saving layup to win it at the buzzer. Oh, my God. This is a 7-game series. Easily the best game we've had so far in the postseason. Oh, boy. Boston and Brooklyn went at it, man. They went at it. 31 points for Tatum. Brown was balling out. Marcus Smart was balling out. Al Horford was balling out. All four of these guys scored 20 points or more in this game. These guys were doing everything offensively and defensively, but there was one dude that was tormenting them on the court all day, Kyrie Irving. In this game, Kevin Durant himself, he had 23 points. He struggled in the first half. He was 2 of 10 in the first half. He couldn't buy a shot. In the second half, he performed better and was starting to hit some more, he was starting to hit some more clutch shots and some tough shots. So he was showing up in the second half. But there were just moments in that fourth quarter where they just locked up Kevin Durant and he couldn't get anything. He couldn't buy a basket. But the one person that was tormenting them was Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving had 39 points in this game. He was tormenting the Celtics. It didn't matter who switched on to him, whether it was Smart, whether it was Tatum, whether it was Brown. It didn't matter who was on Kyrie. He was hitting shot after shot, contested threes, step back threes, just dancing, getting to the basket, doing whatever he wanted to do against the Celtics. They were trying to stop this man. Game's coming down to the wire. It's a tie game, under a minute. Kyrie, for the step back three, gives them the 3-point lead. When Kyrie hit that 3-point lead, I thought it was over. That 3-point shot and gave them the lead, I thought it was over, man. I really thought it was over. Because if you're watching this fourth quarter, you would see the Nets, they continued to feed the ball to Kyrie, and he continued to torment the Celtics. Meanwhile, the Celtics, they couldn't buy a basket in the fourth quarter. They were struggling to hit anything. They were blowing layups. It was looking real bad for the Celtics. But at the end of the day, the difference maker in this game was defense. Brooklyn got that 3-point lead. 40 seconds left. What ends up happening? Celtics get the ball. They come down the court. Terrible defensive possession right there by the Brooklyn Nets. Easy basket for the Nets. They cut it to 1. Now they're coming down the court. They put the ball in Kyrie's hands. Kyrie's been cooking them all day. How do the Celtics respond? They put their best defender, Marcus Smart, on Kyrie. And Kyrie can't do anything at that point. He starts moving to his right, and he ends up getting trapped because the Celtics, they executed this defensive possession brilliantly. Putting Smart on Kyrie was the right move. Kyrie's going to his right. He legit walks right into a wall they set up. He's got to pass out. Gets it to KD. KD, again, can't buy a basket down the stretch. He takes a shot. He can't make it. All right, under 20 seconds now. Oh, boy. Now, at this point, the Celtics can call a timeout. They can call a timeout. You're down 1. Maybe you want to kind of regroup. But nah, they chose not to take a timeout. Cool. This final possession, bro, they were just everywhere. I don't even know how to describe it. They were everywhere. They were just trying to find space. Clock was ticking. I'm thinking they're not going to get a shot off. They're not going to get a shot off. They got to call a timeout. They're not going to get a shot off. The ball's going everywhere. The Nets have a chance to steal the ball right there. They barely keep possession. Celtics eventually get it to Tatum. Tatum, with 2 seconds left, goes up for the layup, and it bounces in with no time left on the clock. Game-winning buzzer-beater shot to give the Celtics the Game 1 victory. Oh, boy. This is going to be a 7-game series. This is going to be a 7-game series. No other way to describe it. This is going to be a 7-game series. my God, this was incredible, man. This was incredible. Easily the best playoff game we've seen out of all the other games from yesterday and today so far. I don't think, unless Milwaukee and Chicago, or hell, even the Phoenix and New Orleans, unless either one of those games matches that, which I don't think they will, easily to say this was the most interesting matchup coming into this, and it lived up. Game one definitely lived up to the hype. Celtics, they got to do better down the stretch defensively. I don't know what happened. You got a 15-point lead, and you guys just... Actually, I don't even know if I can sit back and say... There was some defensive breakdowns, for sure. There was some defensive breakdowns. But at the same time, there were just moments where they're playing great defense, and it's just Kyrie Irving hitting tough shots. If Kyrie's going to hit tough shots, what can you do? He's hitting contested threes. He's hitting step-back threes. What do you do in that situation? Yes, there's some defensive possessions they would definitely want back in the fourth quarter, but what was really hurting them was the fact that they could not buy a basket in the fourth quarter. That was what's killing them. That's what ended up blowing that lead, because they weren't doing terrible defensively in the fourth quarter, besides a couple breakdowns. It was just they weren't scoring anything offensively, so the score remained stagnant for them. And then with Kyrie coming up as clutch as he was, also having KD hit one or two clutch baskets here, and boom, you get a situation where now all of a sudden you're down 3 under a minute. But yeah, it really came down to defense. The defense of the Celtics versus the defense of the Nets. And that's my main reason as to why I look at the Celtics and think that they could take this series in 7 games. Because when the game comes down to the wire, defensively, who do I trust more? Boston or Brooklyn? Brooklyn showed me what they were doing defensively. They gave up an easy basket. You're up 3, and you let them score easy. They get to the basket easily to cut it to 1. Terrible defensive possession there. And then you see the flip side of this, where Kyrie, who's been torching them the entire game, he gets down the court with the ball. And now you got your best defender on him. He does a great job. And they forced the ball out of Kyrie's hand. At that moment, they did everything they needed to get the ball out of Kyrie's hand. He had no space to do anything. So you saw the difference defensively for the Nets as opposed to defensively for the Celtics. And I think that could be the difference maker. At the same time, KD did not play a great game. And I've said it. In order for the Nets to win this series, you need KD and Kyrie to both have great games. KD did not have a great game. Kyrie did. And despite the fact that KD didn't have a great game, it took a game-saving buzzer-beater layup from Jayson Tatum to steal game 1. This series is going to 7. This series is going to 7. It's an exciting series. Honestly, there's nothing you can really take or glean from this in terms of who has an advantage. All I can say is this series is far from over. These two teams are evenly matched. They're going at it. Every game can go anyway. Game 2, you could have a game-winning 3 by KD or Kyrie, and that's all she wrote. Who knows? But all I know is this is going 7. Boston is in for a battle. They're in for a slugfest. Same for Brooklyn. This is going to be the toughest matchup in the first round. Could be arguably the toughest matchup in the Eastern Conference playoffs. This is something different. And honestly, I don't know what's going to happen, bro. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm excited. I'm excited. Celtics fans, just prepare yourself. You're in for a long series because this is not going to be easy. Celebrate this win. You escape with this victory. Blew that lead, but you managed to escape. Crazy. But with that being said, that is all I've got, and I'm out of here, man. Peace.